to slide number 2, which was supposed to talk about what critical thinking is. To give you a brief introduction of the course, we did that last week. We gave ourselves a working definition, and then 2 things were key to the concept of critical thinking: analysis and evaluation. We went through that also. We said that the critical thinker's question asking, skill is ultimately aimed at responding to practical problems of existence. So the questions are not just asked for the sake of asking questions, but it aims at ultimately arriving at, responses to practical problems of existence. Then we took note of the fact that sometimes certain truths, certain claims, propositions have logical truth. Their truth is logical in nature. It is in the language. So we may not need to observe or go to the place to see, to ascertain truth, because it is in the language. So you remember our bachelor is an unmarried man, example where we said a bachelor has beaten his wife. And we thought that you don't need to observe any pictures or videos to ascertain the truth or falsity of that statement is already true even before the person spoke. Because if the one we are referencing is a bachelor, then he cannot beat his wife and stuff like that. But we could also have truths that are empirical in nature. They depend on observation for their truths. Okay, so we gave quite a number of instances last week. This is just for you to remember so that we can move straight forward to the first topic proper. Okay, so just for you to reflect a little before you even delve into critical thinking proper, we gave certain scenarios. You can see them on the screen now. The one with the bachelor, where the landlady would come and say, I am a witness to how this bachelor beat his wife mercilessly. And we said that such a case can be thrown out of court, not because the judge has taken bribe, but because of the language. It is already false. If the person is a bachelor, then he couldn't have beaten his wife. So such scenarios where contradictory claims have been made. Okay, the ladies wearing suits sitting at the back there are totally naked. If they are wearing suits at the back there, sitting at the back there, which people, those wearing suits, how can they at the same time be totally naked? Totally is the issue. That can't happen. So by the logic of it, you can immediately say that is false. Okay, sometimes the logic of it makes it necessarily true. Like example 2 on your screen. It will either rain tomorrow or it will not rain tomorrow. That is a tautology. Okay, this is necessarily true. If tomorrow comes and it rains, the person who said truth. What he said is true. If tomorrow comes and it doesn't rain, it is still true. It's a tautology. I gave some instances in class with some of that. I said that, look, if a team was going to play another team, let's say Barca is going to play Real Madrid, or better still, maybe during the World Cup final. So Argentina is going to play France. And then I'm one of the panelists that have come to your studio. You're a journalist. And then you asked, so will Argentina win the finals or not? You asked me, we want a scientific statement, a testable statement, a response that is testable, one that after the panel discussion, we can go and watch the match, and then after the match, we'll be able to establish whether what I said as a panelist was true or false. You see, if what I said is not testable, it's not scientific, cannot be proven false, then it wasn't a scientific statement, it's a pseudo-scientific statement. Okay? Such statement will necessarily be true. We will discuss that in some detail in Unit 7. But the example on your screen gives you such pseudo-scientific statement, instances of that. So if you ask me as a panelist whether Argentina will win the match, and I say, oh, by the end of the match, I think Argentina will win or Argentina will not win. That is a tautology. It's necessarily true. Even if tomorrow doesn't come, even if they don't play the match at all, it's already true that Argentina will win or Argentina will not win. So statements that one statement has one side of it being the negation of the other, you see, put together with an or. This is typical element of formal logic, the rule for disjunction and how it operates. So if we went into some technicalities there, it would be easier. But even looking at it straightforward, you came to ask me, will it rain tomorrow? You want to know whether it will rain so that you know how to organize your outdoor event, for example. So I'm the meteorologist. Then you ask me, will it rain tomorrow? I'm still on example 2, showing you the logical truth versus what? Empirical truth. Logical truth meaning you just look at the expression, the logic of it, the language of it can tell you whether it's true or false without any further observation. Okay. That's what you will see happening in Unit 6, deduction versus induction. Okay. So when you have truths that are linguistic in nature, either by the language of it, it is necessarily true, or by the language of it, it is necessarily false, then you are dealing with a logical truth. And that is where you can have tautologies or contradictions, etc., etc. Just by looking at what the person said. Okay. And so I was saying that if you ask the meteorologist and the meteorologist says, oh, tomorrow, it will either rain or it will not rain. You see how angry you will be. But the meteorologist didn't give you information. He didn't tell you anything that can be either true or false. He told you something that has a logical necessity to it. It will always be true necessarily that tomorrow it will rain or it will not rain. Even if tomorrow doesn't come, it's already logically true because an expression or its negation is always the case. It's one or the other all the time. Okay. So example 2 is also an example of a logical truth. And then you see the example 3 on your screen, security officer to the boss. She's the last person who left the office yesterday. So she stole the laptop. This is the security officer telling the boss that I think your secretary is the one who stole the laptop. Why? His answer is, oh, because she was the last person who left the room yesterday. Now, is this a logical truth? We don't think so. There is nothing in the language of it that necessarily means because the secretary left last, therefore she stole the laptop. It could have been the security officer himself. Because if someone left last, then you left lastest because you saw the last person leave. It could be the boss himself or herself who has stolen her own laptop. She needs a new laptop and she needs to find a way to get people to buy it for her. It could be that. There is no necessary truth, logical connection in this statement. Okay, so you will need to observe. You will need to empirically observe. That's what we mean by empirical truth. Okay, so we can go on, and if you look at example 4, it is just a repetition. Look at what the person says. She is moral because she leads a morally upright life. She's moral because. When you hear because, you are going to see the reason why the person is moral. What is making her moral? Okay, but you say she's moral because we hear because we are all looking out for the reason. And all you say is she's moral because she leads a morally upright life. You just repeated the moral in your so-called reason. Just like saying that Ghana is developed because the nation is well developed. Said nothing. It's tautologos. It's petitio principii. It's begging the question. I'm saying the same thing, different names. You see them when we start advancing to unit 2 and subsequent units. Okay. So here again, it's just like me saying, example 4, and it's just like me saying, oh, critical thinking is when you are critical about your thinking. I haven't said anything. You see quite a number of such examples when you play the videos I have on the YouTube channel, or you look at some of the links I've shared. Okay. The person says development is when you develop the nation and embark on developmental projects so that the nation becomes developed like the developed nation. You said nothing in the alumni of Christo. You haven't said anything. What you just did was use the very question that we have no answer to answer the question. That's why we call it begging the. You are using the question to answer the question. You have no answer, so you beg it. Or the technical word for it is tautology. When you are being tautologos, or when you are, the Latin expression is petitio principii. Okay, so you see those in unit 10 when you're doing formal fallacies. I think you see some of them also in definitions when we are diagnosing definitions in unit 2. Now, so all the examples on your screen currently from 1 to 7 are showing you some logical errors that are being committed, and we will engage almost each one of them more closely under their unit. Okay, there's one other thing you should be wary about or conscious about. That is the fact that critical thinking is topic neutral. You would want to look on the screen whilst I engage you because I'm speaking to the slides there. Okay. It's topic neutral. It means that it is not something that is, it's not a discipline that is restricted to a specific course. No. The skill called critical thinking skills, okay, or what critical thinking does transcends specific discipline. It can move from medicine to law to politics to religion, culture, military, marriage, family life. This because it's a reflection on how human beings are engaged in matters. Okay, so it is neutral to the topic. That's why amongst you are business students. There could also be psychology students, information studies. It is for all of us because the course transcends. It goes beyond specific disciplines. Okay, so why should you be a critical thinker? These are all part of the substantive matters you should know as part of the introduction to the course. If you are a critical thinker, then you are likely not going to be gullible. You won't swallow everything that people say to you, hook, line, and sinker, without a question asking, you know, posture. You would inquire. You see, you would want to ask, but why should I also do that? Even if everybody is doing it, so why? Must I do what everybody is doing? This is a critical thinking posture, attitude, skill, the one that asks questions before they join the crowd. Okay? The crowd may be following a good thing, yes, but what are they following, and what is the reason why the crowd is following that thing? It could be that because that product is durable, you don't even need electricity to charge it. Maybe it's a lamp or something. So you can say, oh, it is a solar charge. This is Africa. I mean, we have sun in abundance. So that's one of the reasons why many Ghanaians, Africans are following that product. Then I am interested in it because I am following what the crowd is following, the quality in the object, which makes the crowd get attracted to it. That is what you should sell to me, not the fact that many people are doing it. So I should also do some. I don't know if it was in this group. I played out some of my jokes. So I'll say, you want the pony on your forehead, Madam Miss Ghana. You see, say, oh, please put the pony on my forehead. So you are telling the stylist, the one doing your hair, to put the pony there. And so she says, well, I'll do it, but why? And then there you go. Oh, but that is what everybody is doing now. My question to you, and I've asked the class in different quarters, I say, is your face like that of everybody? Look at your forehead. Compare it to every other person's own that you have seen. You may just find out that you have extra flesh on your forehead, like Nancy has. God gave them to you. So look for what fits you, perhaps, and then do it. Don't say put the kaba, the style on my shoulder because that's what everyone is doing. If that is your reason, you may have a big problem because your shoulder may not be like that of every other person that you have seen having that kind of shoulder. Okay. So there should be a reason why you may want a Legon kind of wedding, whatever you call a Legon girl wedding. Not that, oh, I want 3 buffets and I want to change my gown 3 times in the day for my wedding. And I think our pictures, we can do one at Dubai, another one at this. And the person that you are in a relationship with, whom you love and cherish and want to spend the rest of your life with, has just been employed and he takes 600 cities a month. He's not a thief. He just graduated and he has started, and he's hardworking and he's making lots of investment, blah, blah, blah. But you want to marry in the next 2, 3 years. You are going to save towards that. The guy takes 600. His transport to and from work is almost 250 cities from that 500, from that 600. He will pay his tax. He will buy data to call you and send you WhatsApp. Hi. He will drink water at work, even if he eats gobe, beans, and cocoa, one of the economical meals that are also balanced. Even if you eat that, maybe 15 cities a day will go, plus the water. My dear friend, so if you want to have a committed, sincere guy who wants a life with you, you may have to change your thought because you are not going to add anything to that money that you need for your trade changing of counts, you see, and the buffet. And the only reason why perhaps you want that kind of wedding is because that is what Legon girls do. That's the problem. Not that you have the wherewithal, because when we want to discuss, so how much are you bringing so that we put together? You say, oh, but you are the guy. You are the guy. Or just 600 cities. Until if you will save for 3 years, how much will he put down to buy that your gown? That is why, as a critical mind, you see, you want to, okay, so what's everybody saying? That's fine. Appeal to the masses is what I've been emphasizing. Unit 10. It's a fallacy, it's an error in the way you are thinking. If the only reason why you want to go and get that product is because everybody does it, is because a certain, authority, so to speak, is applauding that product, we will interrogate such matters. Oh, I don't want a guy from that kind of village to come and marry. Why? Oh, all the people that I know that came from there. How many people do you know? Maybe 30 of them that you met. They all left there. The ladies they were married to and went to marry another one. So you have to be careful. Don't go to that place. How many do you know? When were you born? If the reason you have is because of a few instances, because there might be millions and millions of people from that place, you have met 30 of them. Well done. Some don't even meet 30, sometimes 2 or 3 experiences. They generalize about the whole set. There's a fallacy, there's an error, connected to that way of preaching. So we'll engage fallacies, God willing, by the 10th unit. Okay. I think I've given you a very good. So look at the first point, why you should be a critical thinker, why you should suspend your judgment until you have good grounds as to why you should accept or reject that thing. Okay, what would you consider as a good grounds and why? Those are the things you are going to engage in. That's why if the sister tells you, oh, me, I've never been to that building before, something is missing. Let's use that. Okay, let's say a laptop again. Okay, so the laptop was last found in the building on campus, JQB maybe. Okay, so you have been cited as a possible suspect, and you want to defend yourself and show that there was no way it could have been you. Your first expression is me, that JQB building. I have never been there. That's Jones Quarter building. Me, I'm in Colorado. I've never been to that building. Since I came to Legon campus, none of my lectures have been there. I've not gone there to study. I don't even pass there. So I've never been to that building, let alone to that specific. Then see, you yourself, by the time you finish giving your, after you give your defense, you say, oh, the thing is, actually that day when we went into that building, me, I didn't touch anything in that building. You see the problem you have given to yourself. You have problems at the law court. You have problems with your relationship. Because if you were to tell the man or the lady or the sister, wherever, that, oh, me, I've never been to that building. They said that they found me there with that brother. Me, I've never been there. Then as you present your case and keep going, so actually that day in Ankasa, when I went there, no, me, I didn't even see that guy. You see how you have made yourself a suspect. It is in the language. So we want to make sure that look on the screen, you are an effective communicator. You want to be a marketer, you want to be an whatever, evangelist, you want to be able to win people to buy into the product, is it e-levy or whatever is dear to you? You have to be an effective communicator. Not just communicating, but effective. Make the impact that the communication must make. It's a skill that you develop. Critical thinking will help you. You become an invaluable problem solver. I was telling, I think it was main campus group 6 or so yesterday when I met them in person for the in-person session. We have only one according to our arrangement for main campus. Then I told them, look, you could be a psychologist or a medical doctor, and the couple sitting in front of you who have come down, we have not had children. Let's use a medical doctor, okay, or a gynecologist, or something like that. We have been married for 6 years now, and we are not having an issue and all that. If you are not how do you put it, a seasoned problem solver, the next thing you will do will be to prescribe. You will write some plenty medication on your prescription, whatever, and then ask the couple to go and buy drugs and drink. But if you are a critical mind, you know the pertinent questions to ask. You can interpret people's personalities by the way they are engaging. You know how to offer solutions that work. How? Because you can anticipate the possible challenges that the couple are, even from the way they are behaving in front of you. It may be that they just don't know how to communicate with each other. How to even express love is problematic. One is coming from a straight jacket home, where the more you show an expression of love, the more it looks like you are a weak person, especially for the men. See? So even the personality, and then the lady too may come from a home that looks like, no, you don't have to look like you are always, in that mood. It is not, decent. If a lady, you're decent, you have a decent person, you have to always be the one that is being chased and all that. So if this sister is doing the chasing, the brother thinks you are too cheap. And if the brother too is trying to do the hiding, then it's as if you are too macho. And for 6 years, there is no issue. And it might have nothing to do with, medication and stuff like that. Because they just don't get along. They take it like, definitely, So an invaluable problem solver may just look at the two and say, you people, I think that you need a time away. I'm going to give you a certain medicine, but you need to be in the room for 2 days without any, So before you know it, they are getting pregnant by themselves. It's not a medication. You look at the problem and you solve it. See, the security man may have an issue with the secretary outside of the laptop issue. So as soon as you asked about laptop, you say, oh, but she was the last person who left. So you have to be one that has an investigative posturing, a patient one that is not always in a rush to pass judgment. So you can be a good problem solver, one that the banker will need, the psychologist will need, medical doctor, the lawyer will need, the judge will need. That is why this one is what topic neutral. A good critical mind is able to deal with all these things. Okay, I've spoken for a while. Let me have one of you read what you see on the screen. Anybody wants to read that for me? Please put up your hand. I'll call you. Thank you. So I see two. And let's take Rosalind first. Afterwards, I can take Estella. I see Prince Adolfo, Priscilla for final. So Rosalind, go ahead. Rosalind Somoa, I think. I got.
Thank you, madam.
Rosalind, go ahead.
Critical thinking skills. 1. Open-mindedness.
Good. Please read or I'll explain.
2. Inquiring mind. That is question asking. 3. Analytic skills.
Yeah.
4. Evaluative skills. 5. Communicative skills.
Well done. Thank you so much. So you will see that these are skills that we believe if you take this course seriously, you will not just get an A, but you would also have yourself equipped with what? Open-mindedness. An open-minded person is not easily swayed. You're not easily pushed left or right because you give everybody the benefit of the doubt, even in that law court, even where you caught the person supposedly red-handed. You see, I don't want to remind us of certain sad event, but you know what happened with that gentleman that earned himself a title of a major recently when he was taken to be, a criminal of a kind and stoned to death. You know the story. I don't want to go into it. The point I'm making is if you're an open-minded person, even where you saw the person supposedly red-handed, you are patient because you could be misinterpreting something. You are not myopic. You don't always conclude based on what you know. You're not prejudiced. An open-minded person patiently opens out the matter. And that is what we need at many, cortex, so to speak. An inquiring mind, one that is always looking for, like I was explaining, trying to query matters, inquiry. You want to find out. You are always asking. When you do that, you're not easily swayed. It can't push you left or right. You are not easily, you don't look at people's dressing and say, oh, I suspect this thing that is missing in my office. There are 3 students that have come to my office. I think it was a Rasta man. I know why Rasta man is suspecting. You see, you don't do that because it could be that he's not the one. It could be the one that looked all gentle with tie on and holding a big Bible. It could be him. So you have to just have a posture that is asking questions. That way you have all the options available to you. Then you can make a seasoned choice. Sisters that are looking for brothers for life, or brothers that are looking for sisters for life. Don't be too impressed by the big scarf that Nancy was wearing, covering, the adugodon dress that covers the whole body down to the leg. It's good to look decent and all, but I'm telling you, sometimes it's a deception. Be patient. Sometimes you will see someone who's all flashy, all this, but inside is a genuine admission. She does that just to protect herself. It's inferiority complex expressed that way, or identity crisis that is expressed in plenty makeup. A little confidence from a brother or a mother or an uncle that shows her genuine love will make her calm. You see the true person inside her. You see. So I'm just saying that if you have an inquiring mind, a mind that is always trying to find out what have I missed, not just dogmatic. As soon as you see something, you carry it hook, line, and sinker. It will help you. And that's the skill that critical thinking helps you develop. Analysis, the skill of analysis. I think I said it. If it is this clear, then it is a repetition. But if I told you that, oh, as for women, it be so then they. As for women, that's how they are. I have already told you that includes my mother. So if it is a brother saying it, he shouldn't be worried when he hears his wife say it. Wait, this one doesn't include your mother. Don't get angry. You said it. You said women, dear. That's how they are. By analysis, by breaking it down, opening it out, you will see that you said something that goes against your mother because you spoke about all women. If I say politicians are like that, I'm in trouble. I left no one out. But if I say, oh, most politicians are this, so and so, okay, most politicians are rich, or most politicians are corrupt, or most pastors have done this, or most imams have done that. If I said most, and you are a politician sitting by me, you can't beat me up. So if you are a speech writer for people, especially those who are going on campaigns and what have you, then you help them tweak their language here and there. Okay, most this have done this. You are one of them. But I said most. Why are you coming to beat me up? If you say, why are you talking about us like that? I could tell you that I didn't say all of you. Why are you forcing yourself to be part of those that I spoke about? I'm saying analysis. Analysis. You open it out, you break it down to its mini details. That's what analysis is. A skill. So the person who says some Ghanaians are hospitable. Don't say that, oh, but I heard you say that. That's how I've come to Ghana. I didn't say some Ghanaians. Even I said some Ghanaians are hospitable. It also means some are not. That's what it means. But analyze what the person said. Break it down. You see what the person said. It's a skill. Evaluative skills judges. Look on your screen, Madam Reddit. You see that I've touched on open-mindedness, inquiring mind, analytic skills, evaluative skills. You are able to make a judgment of matters because you are able to break it down into each mini detail. So you are able to make a value judgment, evaluation. You place value on one over the other. It can't be done because you feel like saying this, so you said it. There has to be reasons, there has to be grounds, and then communicative skills, which I already elaborated on. Thank you so much. Let's take the next slide, and I'll call someone else to read it for me if you are ready. I think that it repeats most of the things I've said, so let me walk you through. Effective speaking, sound reasoning. There should be good grounds as to why you are. You can't tell me that the women wearing suits or in heaven, all the angels that wear gowns are totally naked. The same example I gave with the women wearing suits. When I tell you that, oh, I don't, this thing you're saying doesn't make sense. Don't say, but you have not been to heaven. I have been there. I saw it. I saw the vision clearly. When you tell me that you have been there, I haven't been there, it is neither here nor there. Your reasoning is not sound and pass. It's not a matter of whether I've been there or I've not been there. It has to be sound reasoning. See, I put by it analysis. Okay, so you learn that conceptual clarity. Clarity in the concept is an idea. Concept means an idea, right? So clarity in the idea that you are parading along. If you do fashion design, let's use something. I'm a church. I say we are a family church. If you say you're a family church, the concept of family must be clear. If after church, half of the congregation have driven their car off, everybody sits in their car and drives it away, then some few people are left there. Which family leaves their people there? They can't take car. Your church is far away. In some corner, people can't get car and get home. And you say, oh, we are a family church. What kind of family concept are you projecting? NDC says we are social democrats, I believe, right? MPP says we are property owning democrats, I think. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. These concepts that we carry on our shoulder, do we mean it? There should be clarity. The critical thinker is trained with the skill to, as you say, you're a nurse. Hello, my dear nurses, that I respect so much. Do you look at the name? You nurse in UCSC. I think I would have said it in the introduction. You're a security man, or better still, you're a watchman. You watch with your eyes. So you can't be sleeping at post. Okay, and so on and so forth. So there should be clarity in the concept. Justice, that's what you are pursuing. Justice. All right. I'm sure that by now people are scrutinizing their own discipline. So there should be clarity in the concept. That's a skill that a critical thinker has. Who is a manager? When you hear manager, you manage situations. You don't go getting things all flared up. If you're a manager, whether male or female, you are look at the name, you manage it. So you don't make it explode. If the teller is pregnant and that day she's vomiting in the boot, apologies if you are eating, because some are eating whilst learning. You see, and the teller is in the booth and feels like throwing up, and you are the manager, you don't come and say, what are you doing here? Why are you doing this? If you can't do the job, you should get out and let those who can do it. No. You don't understand your job. Conceptual clarity. You manage it. You don't cover up. You hold the thing. You crown. I don't know how to say that in English than manage. So you can come in and sit in the teller seat and continue with the work so that the customers will be served quietly. Without any flaring up. Even the cameras won't capture everything because you are managing it. When everyone is served and there's calm, you can take your teller inside there, all the caution and whatever you want to give, you can give. But not when people are in the banking hall, they have to go back to work. Some have to go to hospitals, they need the money. Then you are now showing your boss character. You don't understand your job. There's no clarity in the concept that you are parading. A critical thinker in that institution must do their job and tell the boss that, please, this is not the place to show that you are the boss. This is the place to manage the situation. Manage it. The air condition is off. The people are hot. Don't keep going and coming and going, calling for tea. Tea, bang, bang, then they bring you tea. That's not a manager's job. Wear the t-shirt and walk around and get the electrician and come into the bank and say, oh, please, can you bear with us for a while? Yeah, we'll be done in no time. So that the pressure on the teller will go down. That's manager. All right. Yeah. Then you can recognize, diagnose, and solve problems for the work environment and everyday life. If you got that, then we are ready to go. I want someone else to read sentence shape thoughts. Please give me a very good reading. Okay, like Madam Estella, please do that.
Sentence shaped thoughts. Introduction. Humans are beings that think. Our thoughts are often captured or expressed in language. Since we may never know a person's thoughts exactly, we
Excuse me,
depend on
Estella,
what
please,
the
we
person...
get feedback from your end.
Oh, okay.
If you have an earphone, you could put it on. Okay, I want you to read. So that we don't get the feedback.
Please, not at the moment.
If someone is next to you.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
If someone is next to you. Because we are recording, the feedback won't help. I said, give me a minute. Let me try with Henceforth and see. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Henceforth, go ahead. Thank you so much.
Okay. Sentence shaped thought. Humans are beings that think.
Hey, Henceforth, you're also having it. Look on my end.
Madam, maybe yes. It's on your end, because I'm using earpiece.
When I'm
Yes,
also
please.
speaking, do you get the feedback?
Yes, please, we hear it.
Yes.
Hey, then you have suffered for long.
Just
Okay, give me a minute. Let me see if I can log out and come in again. But that will not be helpful.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Doctor. Yes, we can hear you, Doctor.
Do you still get the feedback when I speak?
No.
There's no feedback. Then let me do the talking throughout, okay? I wanted to engage that.
Okay.
Let me do all the talking so that we don't get the feedback, at least for today, because I'm recording for you. All right, so on the screen now we see sentence shaped thoughts. All right, we have just been told that every time we speak, our sentences shape our thoughts. What we have in mind is what we capture in our speech. I think, therefore I am. This is from Descartes. Those who do philosophy, you meet him, okay, in your level 100 and 200. But if not, don't worry. He's a Frenchman, and that's a wise saying he said once. But we also know that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. What is so full in our heart is what comes out of our mouth when we speak. Let me take us back to that slide. So sometimes you don't mean something, but it comes out because there's too much of it in your heart. Now, that is the point we are making here. Human beings think, but our thoughts are captured in our language. Okay, so since I may not enter into your thoughts to know what you have there, I listen to what you are saying to be able to read your thoughts. Okay. Now someone will say, oh, but doc, sometimes we don't say what we mean. Sometimes the things we say, we don't really mean them. The point is, don't say what you don't mean. Because I won't be able to know whether you meant it or not. If you tell me, oh, I didn't mean it, and we let you go, you could just step out of the room and go and tell the people outside that I told them I didn't mean it. That one, I didn't mean that I didn't mean it. And that could go on ad infinitum. So say what you mean and mean what you say. That's what you see on your screen now. For out of the abundance of the heart, this is scripture I'm quoting, the mouth will speak. So if you go and tell someone, I'll kill you. This thing you've done to me, I'll kill you. Then tomorrow morning, you find the person there. God forbid you to. You are in trouble. Maybe you didn't mean that you kill as I'll kill as I mean it, but you have killed. Because you said it. Perhaps you didn't even go near it. Your language, what you said, is what will hold you back. Then I have already told you, if you say, oh, but I didn't mean what I said. Well, if we let you go, if we were the police and we arrested you because we suspect that you went to kill the person because of what you said, okay? Then you tell us in the room there that, oh, that thing I said, I didn't mean it to. That thing I said, okay, I didn't mean it. And we let you go. You can only go out of the police station and tell your people in the car that, oh, I'll go talk them, say, I know I didn't mean it. But that I didn't mean that I told them. I didn't mean that I didn't mean it. It will continue into infinite regress. So we hold you by what you say. And that is why our topics 1, 2, and 3 are going to look at language. Then we'll build on it into unit 6, 7, and 8, 7 and 9, where we will now engage argumentation, analysis, and how we are reasoning. But for the first 3 units or so, it is language and its use. So you see interrogative, declarative, etc., which we are going to do in some few minutes from now. Then topic 2, we'll look at definitions, giving meaning to language. Then topic 3, we'll look at ambiguity, equivocation, and stuff like that, problems with the use of language, metaphorical use of language, vagueness, and so on. Why? Because our whole reasoning and argumentation, which we'll engage as critical thinking, will start with the raw material of what? Constructing language. So what should you know in this lecture 1, substantive content proper? You should know the different types of linguistic expressions. You should know what they call for. So when you hear it, what will it attract in the hearer? Okay, and we'll do that in about 15 minutes, given the background we have. Won't struggle at all. And then what again? We will now look at the types of what? Declarative. So that's the substantive content. Now here, from now going, we are going to move with what? A little bit more, because you will understand it straightforward. There are things you are conversant with. We are just helping you put them together. Now, whenever people speak, there is an intention in their mind. We can't get into their mind like which is may do, but we can use what they said to get into their mind. So for example, sometimes when I speak or when you speak, the intention of you, the speaker, is to make the person listening to you give you information. You want information. Okay, you are seeking information. If I speak and the intention is for me to get information, then that expression falls into the category that we call what? Interrogative on the screen now. Another name for interrogative is what? Question. So where is the classroom? How old are you? When was your mother born? Did you travel to Dubai last month? These are all expressions that are looking for what? Information. So we call them interrogatives. You, if you forget at all, remember what the police folks do when they arrest us. They interrogate us. They ask for you, for information from you. Okay, so that's one type of linguistic expression. Remember, because our languages capture our actions. When I speak, it makes you act in a certain way. So if I don't say linguistic expression, that is language expression, I could also say speech act, an action that is inspired by my speech. So if I don't say the types of speech act, I could say the types of linguistic expression. I'm referring to the same thing. One of them is interrogative, which seek information. The second one is on your screen now. Look at it. An expression that will make the hearer, the one listening to it, act. When you hear it, you will act. So stand up. When I say stand up, I'm not looking for information from you. You will act. If you got my intention right, you will act. Sit down. Clap your hands. Switch on the light. Get out of the room. These are all instructions. Look at the alternative names for imperative. In your school. It can be instruction, can be command, it can be directive. But it could also be a request. So when it is a request, you will see that it won't come direct, like stand up. I could say, could you stand up? Would you direct me to the library? Would you explain the topic again? When I say, would you explain the topic again? I'm not asking the lecturer to say, yes, I would explain the topic again. No, I'm not looking for information. I want him to do it again, but I'm being respectful of him. Okay? Would you direct me to the HOD's office? If you were standing downstairs and I came down and said, oh, would you direct me to the HOD's office? Would you say, yes, I will direct you to the HOD's office? No, you don't do that. You would direct me. Okay? So even though it was a request, the expression came as if I was asking a question. That's why it will come with a question mark. Look at example 4. That's what I'm stressing. Could you pass me the checkbook, please? Could you shut up? I want to hear the president. Then you say, yes, I could shut up. Is that what you will say? If you said that, we'll all get stressed up with you. You didn't read my intention well. So all these, look on your screen now, please. All the 4, take off your hand, raise your hand, pass me the checkbook. They are all imperatives. It is the example 4 that sometimes generates a controversy of a kind. It's still imperative, but look at it will come with a question mark. Could you raise your hand? That is the fashion designer taking, measurement of maybe the ayefro, the bride. This is a big madam, rich, renowned. Think of the queen or the Princess Diana, or someone who has come to you for you to take measurement. Will you say, raise your hand, turn around? No. You are even, so happy that such a big personality has come to you. You will be respected of it. Could you raise your hand? Could you turn around? Would you prefer this? It will come with a question mark. But the intention is for you to do. So it is still imperative, but on the surface of it, explicitly, look at it. It presents as if it's what? A question. That's why it comes with a question mark. Okay, so for such instances, look at my notes, the NB down there. I said that notice that example 4 is explicitly interrogative, but implicitly imperative. So if you saw it written that, it will come with a question mark. The first thought that will come to you is that, oh, this is a question. Until you read it, you look at the intention of the speaker. That's what is hidden. So this is explicitly interrogative, implicitly imperative. If you don't see explicit and implicit, those big words, you would see covert and overt. Overt is O-V-E-R-T, open. What is visible? Open. Then covert, C-O-V-E-R-T, hidden, like covered. So the hidden one, the implicit meaning, the covert meaning would be what? The one that doesn't look explicit, okay? So in this instance, example 4 is explicitly interrogative, implicitly imperative. You could say it is overtly, that's openly what? Interrogative, but covertly, hidden, what? Imperative. So that is one instance that you should see. That's why it is not English. We are doing critical thinking. We're looking at the thinking of the speaker. Now, I'm sure someone may have the question. Hey, so, Doc, this one, if you access, for example, that this expression, could you direct me to the library? Which type of linguistic expression is it? Which one should we choose? It depends on the question we ask. We could tell you this expression could be both A, explicitly and implicitly, so and so. B, so and so, C and C. See, that means I'm looking for what that it can be. It can be both interrogative and imperative. That's one possible way of asking that question. Or I could say, this imperative below could also be, then here I've already told you that it is an imperative. I'm looking for the other one that it could be. The term it can also be interrogative, okay? Or I could just write the expression down and ask you, the expression above is A, both imperative and interrogative. B, only imperative. C, only interrogative, and stuff like that. Then you will know that this one could be both. So depending on the question that you ask, you give the answer that you need. What have we done so far? We are looking at types of what? Linguistic expression, or better still, types of speech act. How many have we done? We have done 2 so far. The first one was what? Interrogative, which is also called question. Straightforward, not difficult at all. The second one is imperative. It has several other names: command, request, directive, instruction. What does it do? It makes the hearer, the one listening, perform an action. When you hear it, you act. Sometimes it is straightforward instruction or command. At other times, it comes as if it's a question, but you see that the intention of the speaker is for you to act. How will you know? Who goes around telling people, could you shut up? I want to hear the president. The person just goes around trying to know those who can shut up, those who cannot shut up. That can't be. It's not the information the person is looking for. The person is actually telling you to shut up. But he cannot look at you and say, shut up, I want to hear the president. That's too direct. So a polite African will say, could you shut up? I beg to tell you that you are stupid. So respectful. So I beg to tell you that shut up. Could you shut up? It comes as if I'm asking you a question. If you read my intentions well, you just have to shut up. Don't tell me, yes, I could shut up. No, you didn't read my intention well. If you got that, then we can go to, let's go to the other ones that are straightforward. So we have done interrogative, we just did imperative, and we are now on what? Declarative. The third type of what? Linguistic expression or speech act. What is it? This one doesn't seek for information. It doesn't tell you to do, but it gives you information, rather conveys information. If you're looking on the screen, you should get this topic straightforward after this class. So that when we build on it, these are like the raw material, the cement blocks, or if like the sand and cement that you are going to mix together to create your blocks, and then you put them together to create your foundation, and then do your lintel or whatever. If you don't know these ones, you can't do evaluation and argumentation and deduction and induction, which are what? Argument. So you need to know the raw materials easily. We are on the third type of speech act or the third type of linguistic expression, which is what? Declarative. Declarative has alternative names: statement, proposition, assertion. Now, what will make you see a sentence and call it a statement? You can see a sentence which is just interrogating. That's a question. Okay. You could see a sentence that is imperative. It's telling you to do. But sometimes when you see a sentence, it is not just instructing or telling you to perform an action, but it is conveying information to you. It is giving you information. That is why it is not a mere sentence, a special type of sentence. Which one is that? Statement. It states, tells you something. It states. Okay, that's why it is a statement. So immediately you should know that a statement and a sentence are not the same. One is a subset of the other. One is inside the other. A statement is inside sentence. There are many sentences. One type of those sentences is what? Statement. So what quality does a statement have? A statement can either be true or false. That is what we mean when we say a statement has a truth value. The value of truth, it has it. The value of truth could be positive or negative. So if the value of truth is true, then it is positive, isn't it? If the value of truth is negative, then we'll say it's false. So when we say a statement has a truth value, it simply means a statement can be true or false. If I say, how old are you? Will you say true? No. Stand up. Will you say false? No. So how old are you seeking for information? Interrogative. It doesn't have a truth value. You can't respond true or false to that. Stand up. That's imperative. You don't respond true or false to imperative. So you will realize that by the time we finish, you take note that all the linguistic expressions we will engage do not have truth values. All of them. There is only one that has a truth value. That is what? Statement, the one we have written on our screen now. Declarative. It's only declarative that has a truth value. That means if you have a declarative, then you can respond true or false to it. It bears truth. Okay. So only declarative. Take note down there. Only declaratives can be either true or false. Stand up, you don't say true to that. But if I say she's a good friend, that can be true or false. Today is Friday, that can be true or false. Ghana has a new speaker, that can be true or false. Nanado is the president of Ghana, that can be true or false. Okay? Currently, if I say Nanado is the president of Ghana, it is true by observation. But some years back, maybe 10 years ago or so, he wasn't. So if I said Nana Addo is the president of Ghana, then that statement would have been false. That doesn't matter. Whether it is actually true or actually false is not the problem. For it to qualify as a declarative, it must be capable of being true or false. The statement, the expression must be capable of being true or false. Then we can call it declarative, okay? Now, if you're making notes, write this down. Because declaratives are giving you information, the information I'm giving you can be either true or false, like I just showed you, okay? So a declarative is the type of linguistic expression that has a truth value. That can be either true or false, okay? Which one is interrogative? The type of linguistic expression that seeks information from the speaker. Which one is imperative? Imperative is the one that instructs the speaker to perform an action. That's the third type. I wish I could say any questions. We'll take all of those when I give you the information proper. I still see 14 hands up. Were they all to read? If they were all to read, then it's fine. But if there's a genuine question amongst any one of you, there's a good time to pause and ask. I just pray that we don't get the feedback. So go ahead. If you have a question, please unmute and ask your question.
Yes, Doctor, please. Thank you. This is Sanafia. Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
So, the declarative, I would like to compare these two sentences. The first one, Eve and the serpent caused the fall of man from heaven to earth. But then if I say, according to the Bible, Eve and the serpent, the fall of man, which of them, are they both declarative?
Yes, please. They both are declarative.
And could the two all be verified?
What makes a statement, an expression declarative is the fact that it can be either true or false. So in the first instance, I said Eve and so made so and so happen. That can be true or false. So it's a declarative. The second one, you said according to so and so. That can also be true or false. So it's declarative.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much.
Most welcome. I think your background was okay. So maybe we didn't have a challenge after all. I didn't get a feedback from you. Okay, thank you, sir. Is there another question, please? The person can unmute and ask.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, please, I'm Florence, and I wanted to ask about the imperative.
Yes, please.
You said it's a command or request or directive, and I want to ask with this example, what is the time? Can
if
it
I say
be
what is
an
the time? Hold on.
or...
Don't worry, I'm not interrupting you. I want to help. If I say what is the time?
Yes.
Am I instructing you, please?
No.
We have an African and Ghanaian issue. When I say where is your mother, then the person goes into the room. Nah, me. I said where is your mother? The person will go into mommy. So and so is calling you. That's our problem. I said where is your mother? I didn't say call your mother.
Madam, the Rastaman is you.
My dear sister, do you see that? So if I say what is the time, I'm asking you for information. Okay. If I want you to tell me, if I say what is the time, you can enter the time on the screen. You can do this. So you are acting, isn't it? You could also give me the information. You are still acting, but the second one is the one that is. Oh, who is talking? Brian, you want to do the lecture? Let me respond to Madam Florence. She needs a response. So if I asked you how old are you, my dear Florence, if I say how old are you, you will give me the information by acting. But the focus is on the information. So if I say how old are you, you say I am 12 years old. You are responding. But it is the information you are giving me. It's not the same as if I said, So it is the information that makes it interrogative. Okay. The same with the one that says, what is the time? If I say, what is the time? The time is 2 o'clock. You are giving me the information. But if I said, stand up, you will have to act. If I say, keep quiet, I want to hear the president, you will have to shut up. It's the action that my focus is on and not the information that you give. All right. Great.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. Your background was also fine. So I suspect that the earlier one, it was Madam's background. So we can read along because I don't like doing the monologue throughout. Otherwise, I would have just recorded and sent you the link. I want to engage you. So I'm happy that we have a good background. Let me take any other question. I see 16 hands.
Madam.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, it's about the types of linguistic expressions.
The types of what? Linguistic expressions. Yes, we've done 3 so far.
Okay, so my question is, can these types be joined, like 2 types be joined together with maybe a conjunction? Because I have this sentence in mind, and me analyzing it, I see that it's kind of like...
Go ahead, read the question.
Okay, so the question is, the cinema is closed, so are we going? The cinema is closed, so are we going? And I was finding...
Okay, what do you think? Don't worry, what do you think?
So, me analyzing it, I saw a little bit of... The first part was kind of like declarative, because...
Put them together. Put the 2 together. If you heard me say, the cinema is closed, so are we going? What will you do? I'm working with you, then I tell you that. What will be your response?
Yes. Well done. Yes. Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like you giving a true or false.
I want to know, Brian. They say, I'm working with you.
Hello.
Then we get to the player, the cinema is closed, so are we going? Or we are at home, we get a call from someone who tells us the cinema, they are closed. They are closed. We are there now. The cinema is closed. So I'm not telling you at home. Boss, what's your name, Ko?
My name is Charles.
You, Charles, eh?
Yes.
Did you say Charles? I want to address you, that's all. So let's say, so I say Augustine. They said the cinema is closed. Are we going? So are we going? What will be your response?
No, we are not.
So the reason I'm asking what to be your response, you will give me information, isn't it?
Yes, please.
Yes. So I suspect that this is more interrogative than declarative. You can take off the first part, because the first part and the second part are joined together. It is because of what the first part is telling you that it leads to the second part. So this is interrogative.
Madam. Hello, madam. Please, I have a question, but I couldn't raise my hands, please.
Please, I will take over I am the one who paused there to take questions. So don't worry. I've seen 20. Okay. Now there are 20 hands. I want to take all. If everybody has a question, then I'll go step by step. But I thought that some raised their hands to read. Okay. So let's take so that we don't get it all jumbled up. Kingsford Akon, please, do you want to ask a question? Ask now. I'll go through all and take all the questions. Then we do the second hand. Is this Kingsford Akon, please?
Yeah, madam, please, no question, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now lower your hand. Benjamin Affo, please ask your question if it is a question. Okay. Not to worry, we'll go through it that way. We'll get to everyone. Okay, hopefully. Benjamin Affo, please your question.
Madam, it's fine.
You are sorted. Okay. Then please don't all the hands up. If you could just lower them, if it's not a question, it will help us so that we see the few left and we can pick them. Thank you so much. Deborah Boateng, your hand is up. Erica Pomego, Mumuni Agnes, Yvette Safo, Aaron, Mawili Amedo. If there are no questions, would you kindly please lower your hands for us? It will help us. Okay. Now I'll pick those who have a question. Daniela J. Thank you so much. I see hands going down now. Thank you. Pius, Mausi, Esther, Ganyehia, Hamza. Okay. All right. I still see some hands going down. Thank you so much. Please lower your hands if there are no questions. It will help us. I'll pick them quickly. Rosalind. Rosalind, you spoke already. Rosalind Somoa. I think you read for us first. So I'll lower your hand for you. Unless it's a question. Casey Amponsa. Yes. Abigail Nyantichua Ajekum. Okay, so I see 13 hands now. That's good. Let's lower them, please, if it's not a question. If they are all questions, I'll take them one. I see Casey, I see Cyprian, Asari, Elisha, Ignatius, Mezan. Are they all questions, please?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Madam, I have a
please
question,
go ahead.
but the thing is that I don't know where to raise my hands. That is the question. That is the problem.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll teach you after the class. When you go to, are you holding your gadget? Don't worry. It's good that you are asking. See, on your gadget, you will see more. I think on yours, you see more. When you see more, or reactions, depending on your gadget. Look at reactions, where there's a face like a smiley there. Yeah. Okay, when you select that, it will give you different emojis. One is a hand looking up. If you select that, you come on the screen. Okay. All right. So let me. Is this Steven Yami? Let me take Steven first. My lady, I'll take you. Let me take Steven Yami. I think his hand has been hard for a while.
Okay.
Go ahead. Then I'll take Rosalind after.
With the statement the guy made that the cinema is closed, and
ask your question, sir. Ask your question. Just ask your question. Don't worry.
Yeah. So the imperative was it's expressed to make someone perform an action.
Are you asking a question? Don't worry. Are you asking a question?
Yeah.
Now we know interrogative,
Yes,
so I want you to ask. Ask the question. How will I do so and so? Or what is so and so and so? Go ahead.
So are we going? You said it's interrogative, but it's actually
brother, ask
sometimes
a question. Ask a question. Otherwise, we'll do a whole lecture. Ask a question. We now understand interrogative. Make us have it, okay? Doc, I want to know if are we going is interrogative or this. Full stop. Then I can answer. Okay.
Yeah, I want to know.
You want to know if what?
If are we going is only interrogative.
Yes.
Doc, please, I can't hear you.
Hello, doctor, please, you've gone. Hello, doctor, please, you've gone off grid. Kindly check your network. Could you please?
Hello.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes,
you're
audible
now. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
You are not back, please.
I'm back.
Please,
Wanted to know if are we going?
Hello, doctor, please, you've gone off grid once again. Could you please check the network?
please hold
Hello.
on.
Please mute your voice.
Hello.
What is
Hello.
Only one person is speaking.
Hey.
I was on with a colleague, a gentleman. Let me finish with him. Why? Boss, I'll mute everyone, then you unmute again. What I was asking you is, are you saying that are we going is interrogative? The expression are we going? You want to know whether it is interrogative? Go ahead. What do you think?
It sounds interrogative to me.
I'm not asking what it sounds so. If you don't do that, I can't help you because I'm going to ask you questions like that. You see, that's why I'm doing that. It's just, and we can't see you. So it helps me to get your mind. Then I can help. Okay. But sometimes one expression could be both A and B. We are going to learn factuals, value judgment definition. You see that one expression could be both a factual statement and a value judgment. One expression could be both a metaphorical statement and yet blah, blah, blah. Okay. Like he has kicked the bucket. So we are going to build on that level of difficulty. So I want to get to where you are, then I can help you. If I ask you, are we going? How do you interpret that? If I say, are we going? Is it asking you a question or is it, I don't want us to presume anything because I've told you in Africa, when you knock on my door and you ask me, where is your mother? You will see the typical African. Ask is, where is your mother? It is for information. Tell that, oh, my mommy has gone to church, or my mommy is in the room. Then I can tell, call her for me. Then you go and call. But here, when you say, where is your mother? The person will go inside and go and call your mother. I have done that. I've been beaten for it several times before I've grown up out of it. Where is your mother? That's what the person, mommy, where he? You know, where's your mother? You have to say, my mother is in the room, or my mother has gone to church. I don't know where she is. Then she can tell, call her for me or find her for me. Where is the class rep? There, whose name is there? Bernice. Then it's Kwate. Madam is calling. I didn't say call her for me. That's what I'm saying. So we have some of the things we've learned and we have engaged with are errors. We are going to build on them. So if I ask you, are we going? I already even answered my question. Are we going? Yeah, what should you say? You see, boss. I'm sure that by now you have a fair idea. It's a question. It's a question. sometimes we can read into what the person is saying, but you may be wrong. The person, when we get to ambiguity, you see, and it could mean B. So let the person say, especially if you're a policeman or you work in the defense, ministries. Let the person say, don't say it for him. Because he can tell what he said differently. When we get to ambiguity, you see what I'm saying, and tell you that what I said, I meant A. Meanwhile, what he said could also mean B, and you took it to mean B, and so you recorded his statement and put it down that way. When you get to court, he will tell you, I said this, yes, but I didn't mean what you are saying. And you are correct if you interpreted it that way, but he's also correct if he interpreted it a different way. So let him say what he meant with what he said. Then you write it down that way. Then you are safe. Don't assume it for the person. You see, when we get to ambiguity, we'll get quite a number of examples. Okay, thank you so much. Let's take, Madam, you were going to speak before I interrupted you, so go ahead. There was a lady going to, I think it was Rosalind, if I'm right.
Please.
Go ahead quickly.
So
Yes.
I think I'm sorted. I wanted to know whether
You are sorted. Very good.
Yes, please. What is the time? Is interrogative or imperative? Thank you.
When I say what is the time, I'm asking for information. I could tell you, tell me the time. That's not the same as what is the time. I was saying. You see, if you ask me, that's what I say. Sometimes one expression could be interrogative and imperative, or even sometimes, like if I said, you shouldn't talk back at your supervisor. You shouldn't talk back at your mother. If we learn value judgments, we are going to do that shortly. You see that looks like a value judgment, which is a type of statement. The declarative we learn. It's a type of statement. And yet that same expression could also mean an instruction, a directive.
Doc, please, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Okay. I don't know why this is happening. Any of you working with Vodafone, please tell them that we are doing serious lecture. They shouldn't distress us. Tell your Vodafone people. MTN was stressing me. I've changed it to Vodafone. So stressed. What should I do? Is there any other proper network? I stopped talking immediately, so I know where I got to. Don't worry. We'll continue from there. So, yes, we'll continue. Tell them, please, if you work there, you better come and give me free data. I've done an advert for you. You won't give me data, you won't let me teach without stress. Okay, Antigo. My son says Antigo. I don't know about Tigo. Airtel Antigo. No. I keep quiet. Let me teach. All right. So I was just explaining that you could have one expression instructing, and yet judging. If it is a value judgment, that is declarative. So where will you place it? That's why we will build on it slowly. That's why we are critical minds. We are not doing, raw English. Like we are critique. We are getting into the mind of the speaker based on what he or she said. Okay, thank you so much, Rosemary. Let me take 2 or 3 more questions. Maybe by the time we finish the whole topic, some of the questions others may have would have disappeared. Okay, let me take Hamza. Hamza, go ahead. Stephen Yame, be patient with me. I'll take Hamza, then I'll come to you if your hand is still up. Go ahead, Hamza.
Yeah. My question is, can we have an instance where we'll be having both interrogative and then imperative?
Yes, I just gave you an instance. Could you shut up? I want to hear the president.
We can't hear again.
Doc, please, we can't hear you.
The
network.
Let's wait for her.
Sure.
I think she did mention that she's having problem with it.
Yeah.
She just exercise patience and then she'll get back.
Let's wait for a while.
I mean, I like MTN. No. MTN, they sometimes they don't.
That is Ghana for you.
I'm back. I don't even know what to say.
Yes.
Okay, madam.
All you will get later is a message that is telling you that we are working on so and so and so and so. Because today is a Sunday, the assumption is that there isn't any, if you like, serious work going on. But look at us, we are doing a full lecture on Sunday. So talk to your people, please. The border people here, tell them that I've given them funds and now I'm stressed, so they should stop. I stopped MTN.
But don't worry, I'll talk to them.
The fiber.
Are you seriously on with them? I'm trying to use my phone's data. Maybe that one will not. But I don't know if I get a call that was. I'm using a full whatever my house, a Wi-Fi.
I think you need the fiber, the broadband fiber.
Oh, but what you mean? Even the office cable, they do this to me. Anyway, now that they have allowed us to talk, let us use it for let's use it for something. The thankful thing is we are on record, so you can always reference it later. My dear sister, you had a question, so I hope that I'm able to explain. No, there was a brother, Hamza. Hamza, so that's the explanation. If I say, could you pass me the checkbook? Yeah. If you are sorted, then I can take Esther, and then we'll continue and come back to the
I wanted to give this example. I wanted to give this.
Go ahead, give the example, sir. Give the example, Hamza.
Stand up. Can it be both a interrogative and an imperative?
Which one is this? I didn't hear that part, please.
If someone gets to me and says, stand up, what is your name?
Stand up. As soon as he says stand up, you will act, isn't it? Yes. So the stand up is what will take precedence. But if you stood up and then I said, what is your name? Then you will stand and answer because these are two in one. Okay.
Okay.
Just like the earlier question, you are doing something like the earlier question that the friend asked. Except that if I say stand up, what is your name? I can't ask you that kind of question and ask you whether it is imperative or what's the other one? Or interrogative. Okay. But these are two separate statements. The other one that we're contending over with the cinema, the person says, okay, the cinema is closed. After the information, then the person asks a question. So that was a challenge we had then. Okay. All right. I will take Esther. Esther, please, are you there? Let me take yours and then we can continue. When we finish with the topic, then we take more questions. Okay. Is Esther there? If Esther is not ready, let me take Casey and Ponsa. Everybody is muted, so kindly unmute first. Please. Please, if Kezia is not ready, let me take. Kezia, are you ready? Okay, Elisha, sorry, you're already unmuted, so go ahead, please.
Madam, please, can you please explain the implicit and the explicit?
Implicit means hidden. Explicit means visible. So if you saw an expression like the one that we just discussed, could you close the door, please, when you are going out? You won't turn and say, yes, I could close the door when I'm going out. Okay. If the person say, go to me to dine, mama, say, could you close the door for me when going out? It will come with a question mark. That expression I just did will come with a question mark. It presents itself explicitly as if it is a question, a genuine question, but it's not a genuine question. Okay? So that one has an explicit meaning, which looks like what? A question, an interrogative, and yet implicitly, hidden in that is what? An imperative. So that's an example. Explicit means what is visibly showing. Implicit means what is hidden. That's the difference. I hope that helps. Okay, let me take, so that was Asari Elisha. Let me take Benjamin Apple. Ladies, when I call you, I'm not responding. Don't accuse me of ignoring you. I've tried to call ladies. Is Jamponsa there? Or you sorted? Then it's going.
Please,
okay, if you are sorted there, okay. Then let me drop your
so please.
Go ahead.
Please come here.
Yes, please, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay, so please, if someone says, could you tell me the time? Doesn't make it explicitly implicitly.
If someone says what?
Could you tell me the time?
Did someone hear, madam? Please repeat what she said for me. Her background is a bit faint.
You tell me the time. She said,
please tell me the time.
time.
If I say, please tell me the time, what do you think? I'm telling you to do, so it's imperative.
Could you tell me?
Would you tell me the time? Yes, please. Implicitly imperative, explicitly interrogative. But the one that is working here is the imperative, right? Yes. Would you tell me the time? If you were pastor, I said, would you tell me the time? You look at the time and tell me. You will not be interested in saying, yes, I will tell you the time. That is not what I'm looking for. I want the time. So I'm telling you, tell me the time. I'm only being polite. So it is just like the example we have treated all this part. Explicitly interrogative, implicitly imperative. So on the surface of it, it's as if I'm asking you a question. So come with a question mark, the expression. But what I really intend from you is for you to tell me the time. So it is just like the ones we've discussed so far.
Hello, madam.
You. Madam is sorted. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hello.
Then we can continue with the screen. What is on the screen? Go ahead,
Please.
sir.
Okay. I have a question. The question is, the university does not equip one with practical skills, does it? So
what do you think? This is a question tag. Obviously, it's a question.
Explicitly
it ended with does it, didn't it?
Yes. So I said yes.
It's just like saying, does the university equip us with practical skills? That's what the person is asking. You see that when your friend was going to ask his question, one of us, he wanted to give a preamble. So I kept saying, ask the person, you ask. Don't give me the preamble. Ask, because I want the question bit. So this one, the person said all that they wanted to say and said, does it? So he or she is not stating, he's asking.
Good. Okay.
I hope it's clear.
So I thought that there is I thought it had a tendency of being true or false. So a little.
No, look at how the person ended. Some of us, that's how we talk. So we will help ourselves. You see how he ended? It's as if he's stating, like where we are on our screen, declarative. But by the time he finished, he said, does it? So he hasn't stated. You can't go and say the minister for so and so said this. He hasn't stated it, he's asking. You see, but the reporter may go and say that, the minister says that the university training is not for practice. He says, does it? Obisa, AB, he's asking. So it's still a question.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you to say. Let's build on what we have a little, and I'll come and take the second half of the question. We have just some few slides left. Okay, so on your screen, remember where we have reached. I'm taking a lot of time to explain because these are basic to what we are going to build on. So if you get your interrogative right, you get your declarative right, your imperative, you realize as we build on it that the critical thinker is only interested in declaratives. All the rest, we know them to throw them out. So if you go and you are saying, what kind of government car is this? Why did we even go them to park? God will punish them one day. You have said nothing. Critically, when you are dealing with critical thinking, everything you've said is baller. You have to throw them out. They are not useful to us. Questions, emotive expressions, interrogative, imperative, they don't work. The critical thinker is only interested in statements, declaratives, what you have on your screen now. Why? Because that's
Madam, I don't see the listen on my screen.
Don't worry, I'll reshare it because we kept going and coming. Those who are not strong in their reception will lose it. I'll reshare it. Okay, I'm just saying that so you will see that the critical thinker is only interested in declarative statements. Why? Because they have truth value. They can be either true or false. So that's what we are going to analyze, evaluate, assess, argue with, etc. Not questions, not emotive expressions, not imperatives, not the ones that we are going to finish up with. So it is important that you know interrogative, imperative, so that you can throw them out. When you have the whole State of the Nations address, for example, or United Nations, so and so and so and so, all the questions in it, all the imperatives in it are not relevant for the critical mind when we are evaluating. So we look out for what? Declaratives. If you got that, then we can now move on to the next. Sir, please, can you see my slides now?
Yes, please. Thank you.
No,
yes,
please.
Yes.
Some of us cannot see.
Yes, please.
So if I say,
No.
the rise, please help me. I want
Please,
to
some
make
of
it
us
easier
cannot
for
see
you.
it.
Yeah, we
If
can
I
see
say,
that. Please, we can't.
Okay, don't worry. You will see it. It's a network thing. I can see it. If you play it back, you see that I was there all this time. Okay? So be patient. Listen to me now. Okay? If I said, where is the rice and stew? Which type of speech act would you think it is? Where is the rice and stew? I want a chorus answer.
Interrogative.
Please, it is
Interrogative.
Fragment.
Interrogative.
Someone said it's a sentence fragment. Hey, why is the rice and stew?
Interrogative.
It's interrogation.
It's interrogative.
Yes.
Very good. That's correct.
Interrogative.
It's I'm asking you where it is. I didn't say go and bring it.
Where is the
I
rice?
said, let's try back. Let's try and get ourselves
It's okay.
used
It's
to that.
okay.
Where is it? Tell me it's in the cupboard. It's in the microwave. It's upstairs, whatever. Okay. Give me information about where it is. That is what the speaker is asking for. The person is asking. So where is the rice? That's interrogative. Then I said, give me rice and stew. Where would you place give me rice and stew, please?
Imperative.
Imperative.
Yes,
ma'am. Well done. So I think that we are finished.
Imperative.
Yes. What about if I
Yes.
said, what about if I said the rice and stew is delicious?
Declarative.
Declarative. Another name for declarative is statement. Well done. Well done. So at least yes. Now what about if I said rice and stew?
Sentence fragment.
If I say rice and stew, those of us who may not have looked at the slides, the challenge will have it. We don't know where to place it because rice and stew, I heard there. What has it done? It's not complete. If you said, where is the rice and stew, then I'll put it under interrogative. If you said, give me rice and stew, then I'll put it under imperative. If you said the rice and stew is delicious, I can put it under declarative. But if you just say rice and stew, then we don't know where to place it. Why? Because it's incomplete. That is what the critical thinker or the logician calls what? Sentence fragment. I didn't say statement fragment. People will go and pick that and get it wrong. I didn't say statement fragment. That's like saying a bachelor who has beaten his wife. Because if it is a statement, it can't be a fragment. So it is a sentence fragment, the fragment of a sentence, the part of a sentence. Remember, interrogative is also a sentence. Okay, so if you didn't finish it, it's incomplete, then we call it sentence fragment. That's what you see on your screen. If only I got to Ajo earlier, then what? Then I would have slapped her, or I would have married her, or I would have whatever. You see, if only I got to Ajo earlier, it's incomplete. So it's a sentence fragment. Rice and stew, the example I give, is incomplete. The dean of students in the University of Ghana, what has he or she done? Morning dew, well, what has it done? Okay, so on and so forth. So these are fragments. Why? Because they are incomplete. You got that? Add it to what you know already. You know, interrogative, declarative, imperative. We just added fragment of a sentence fragment. If you got that, then I can do the last one. What about where you have a complete sentence? It's complete. Okay, but it is not interrogative. It's not imperative. In fact, it is capturing the emotions of the speaker. Oh, what a day. I finished. Ajay. This is someone falling down. Or Barca scores a goal and then Messi plays. So you say, go. You are finished. Not like it's incomplete. If you see this red, gold, green makeup on a girl's face or a sister or brother's face, you say, hey, you are finished though. Hey, this A that I said, that's the end of it. It's not an incomplete sentence.
Please, Doc. Some of us
Wow.
don't have the slides showing
Brilliant.
on us.
Please, the slides are in your
Doc.
so don't stress yourself, man. Don't stress yourself, my boss, okay? Don't stress. I'll keep resharing.
Thank
Yes,
you.
please. Thank you for the prompt, but don't get yourself worked up. Can some of you see it? If you can see it, unmute and respond yes.
Yes, please. We can see it.
Yes,
Father. Yes, we can see.
Okay.
We can see.
So thank you for the reaction. That is not to brush the gentleman aside. It's just to give him the encouragement that the thing is on the screen. So it might be a network issue like I was having here, or some of you were having. Or it could be that you give it a little time. Don't let your screen sit for too long without touching, just like you do with your ordinary phone. Otherwise, what you have on it will be like it has frozen, sort of. It's not from here. Okay, so I'll keep sharing and resharing, but touch your screen so that it doesn't go off. Everything I'm projecting is already in your visual screen. on Sakai as well. In lecture, yeah. I'm on slide number. Let me show you. Everybody be patient. We are not the same. So let's be patient for each other. I'm on slide number 21. If you pick the slides at your resource, where average is 21. 29. Finish slide. Okay. All right. So I was just explaining to everyone that if Messi scores a goal and I'm so happy and I shout, "Go!" My brothers and sisters in the Lord, I have finished. It's not an incomplete sentence. It's complete. But it's my emotions, feelings that I just express that way. Okay. So you call that one emotive expression. I was going to the makeup thing. Can see a car being say, wow. This is not a question. You are not telling anybody to do anything. You are not giving anybody information. Take note. And it is complete. This is an expression of what? Your emotions. So you will see that oftentimes when we see exclamations, like what you see on my screen now, oh, what a day. Wow, brilliant, awesome, bravo. The person has finished. It's an expression of the emotions. Okay, if you got that, then you just know the faith one, the faith type of linguistic expression. Okay, the speech acts are three. You can add the other two. I put them together so that it's easier for you to revise. Now, if you got that and you don't have any questions, then we can go to the three types of declaratives. Okay. Remember, it is only declaratives that have a truth value. Don't forget.
Madam,
that.
you have a question.
I'm coming. I'm summing up what we have so far. Then we can take the questions and finish up. Okay. I said it is only declaratives that have a truth value. Only declaratives can be true or false. You can respond true or false to declaratives. Another name for declaratives is for statements. Asa. So it is only declaratives that are also called what? Truth bearers. They bear truth. That means they are capable of being true or false. Now I take your question. Big boss, ask your question. Benjamin.
Hello, madam. Should I ask
Okay,
my
then
Benjamin Siedu?
Benjamin, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Madam, my question has to do with the one you spoke about. That is the imperative and slash this fragment issue. The fragment that you just taught us. Right.
Which one?
My question was.
You ask the question because imperative and fragment are not.
The question is that the gentleman asks. You understand? He asks, the cinema is closed. Are we going? And I thought maybe, in my opinion, it could be also a fragment, like, like where are we going? Like, are we going home or we are going to?
Right. It is not a fragment. Are we going home is complete. It's not an incomplete sentence like, for you to call it a fragment.
Okay, right. So are we going? Is a complete sentence. Is that?
Yes, it is. Are we going? Yeah,
okay.
But if I said Flight Lieutenant J.J. Rawlings and the wife, who is the First Lady of Ghana, this is a fragment. It's so long, but it's a fragment. It's incomplete. I've not finished. What have they done? Did you understand? The Dean of Students of University of Ghana. That is not a sentence that is complete. It's hanging. It's incomplete. Okay. All right. Let me take Obed Enim. Obed, go ahead.
Yeah, please, madam. I wanted to ask what makes the difference between sentence and a statement?
What do you think? I explained that. So what do you think? It is written in the slide.
A sentence.
I still explained it. So go ahead. Tell me what you think. Yeah.
A sentence is a sentence is a group of words that makes a complete.
You don't let me laugh at you. Look at, use something simple. I don't want you to repeat what is there for me because that one you can read and tell me. I want to know if you understand. If we put sentence and statement there, which one is bigger than the other? Which one contains the other? Which one is the seed and which one is the orange?
The sentence is the main set and the statement is the subordinate.
So if I put orange, the whole orange, and then I put the seed beside it. These are two things. We know that the seed is inside the orange, right? So I have orange and I have the seed of an orange sitting by it. which one will you label as the statement and which one will you label as the sentence? If you answer it, I will know you understand. Is that too complex for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let me explain to you again, because you should be able to say it that way. It helps you. The sentence means a collection of words. If you put words together, you can use it to create a question. You can use it to create an imperative. You can use it to create emotive expression, like we have done. Okay. So if I said stand up, two words put together. But what I've created is not a statement, it's still a sentence. Please, do you understand?
Yes.
Are you following me? What is your name? The collection of words that are put together. It carries a complete thought, but it is asking. It's not stating. What is your name is a sentence, just like today is Friday. It's also a sentence. Just that these two sentences, one is stating, the other is asking. So one is a question, the other is a statement. That simply means statement is what? A subset of sentence. All statements will be sentences, but not all sentences are statements. Does that help?
Okay. Okay, so
questions are also sentences.
the expression
And imperatives are also sentences.
the
But
expression
statements
of
are not imperatives. Is it okay?
yes, please. Thank you.
All right. All the best. Let's take Esther. Esther, your hand is up again. I've seen Charleston's hand for a while now. I don't know if you spoke earlier. So let me take Esther, then we'll finish up with the types of declaratives. And then come and mop up.
Madam, please.
Earlier that.
Hello, madam.
Is it Obedenim
Madam,
speaking
please,
now?
when you were giving the
Yes,
example.
very good. Esther, if you have a question, ask. Is it Esther?
Yes, please. Madam, yes, please.
Because I see another
Yes, when you
Esther
were
here.
giving
Let's see. This is Esther Nana Ama Achampon. Is that the one speaking? No. This should be another Esther. So go ahead, Esther. Yo, go ahead, Esther. There's another Esther. Whose hand is up? Go ahead.
Yes. Madam, please, when you were giving the example, my network went off, but I was so much interested in listening to that.
Which one? Which example was that? Don't worry.
The difference between the sentence and the statement, which one is
But
bigger?
I already said that too.
Which one contains the other?
Listen.
Yes, my
Collection
network went
of words. Don't worry. Every collection of when you put words, you see, we are doing logical. Logic. We are doing critical thinking, which is logic. When you put words together, you will create a sentence. Words together that have a complete thought. Where is your mother? You have put words together to create a complete thought, which makes meaning to me. That's why when you say, where is your mother? I can respond, she's upstairs. But that collection of words that I put together to create a sentence, this sentence is a question. The type of sentence that is what? Asking a question. Did you understand that one?
Yes.
Okay. Now I can put words together again that carry a complete thought, but which will not be asking a question. It will be instructing me to do something, like clean the blackboard. This is also a collection of words. It has a meaning behind it, but it is not asking me. It is telling me to do. So the first one asked a question, interrogative, but it's a sentence. Okay. The second one instructed me to go and clean the board. It is also a sentence, but it is what? Imperative. Did you understand that one?
Yes, please.
Now, I can also have another type of sentence where I am not asking a question. I am not instructing the person. I'm informing the person. This type of sentence is called statement. For example, today is Friday. I am stating, I'm giving you information. Information can be true or false, but it is still what? A statement. So a statement is a certain type of sentence. That's why a sentence is bigger. It's a big set. Inside the set of sentence, you can have statements, you can have questions, you can have what? Imperative, and so on and so forth. Is it clear now?
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, madam.
Thank you. Now on our screen, we are going to look quickly and in some few, maybe 3 minutes or so, 3 types of what? Declarative statement. Don't let it overwhelm me. Please, let's make this a habit. The slides are put there for you so that you will engage it before you come. If you come and engage the lecturer and all you want the lecturer to do is to tell you what is already written in the slide, you won't do well in the course. It's not a test. I know what I'm telling you. I've been teaching this for years by the grace of God. I know what I'm telling you. If your first point of contact is the one that the lecturer is telling you, like in any of the courses you are doing in the University of Ghana, you will have a challenge. You have to engage the content. That is why for DE, you are lucky. All the content are presented for you in sessions or slides and put in your resource too. It's not every main campus that gets that advantage. Okay, mostly they get the course outline, then they read the references and sit in class to listen. You have the content already presented for you in slides, sometimes in very detailed slides. So please engage the content before you come and listen to the lecture or tutorial. Otherwise, you'll be stressed. Something simple, you will use a lot of time to get it, then you waste too much time. Okay, because what I'm going to tell you now, you should know the 3 types of declaratives. Then what I'm going to help you do would have been to help you see the difference, but they look alike. But now it looks like the lecturer has to tell you what is already in the slide, which that's what we do. Me, that's my work. I don't get stressed out when I'm doing it. But you will struggle to grab it quickly. And if it doesn't help you, and then next week we build on it, and then the 3rd week we build on it, then it becomes plenty on top of school fees and office work. I tell you, it won't be pleasant. Okay. So let's work that we engage the content before you come. Read it and get the raw content. Then when you meet the lecturer or the tutor, it is to help you get the intricacies and the nuances, not to come and tell you 3 types of declaration. 1, factual statement. 2, value judgment. The 3rd one is the petition. That is straightforward. All right. So if you look on my screen now, I'm trying to show you 3 types of statements. They are all statements, so they are all giving you information, which can be either true or false. Okay. But you see that how they inform you differ. So the factual statement gives you information that is objectively true. That simply means it is not about your opinion, you the speaker, your opinion. It is a truth or falsity out there that we can all observe to ascertain truth. We can establish truth or falsity by our 5 senses through observation. So for instance, if I say it is raining right now at Lagos, that is a factual statement. Why? Remember, they are all statements. It's factual because if someone is with me at Lagos and you call the person, Dr. Miles says it is raining at Lagos. Is it true? All the person has to do at Legon campus there will be to step out and come and tell you, oh, she's lying, it's not raining. Or maybe at the time she told you it was raining, right now it's not raining. It is something that we can, through observation, establish truth or falsity. Objectively, it's not about my feelings or my perspective or my opinion about anything. So it is a factual matter. It can be factually true or factually false. What makes it a factual statement? Its truth or falsity is based on what? Observation. That is not dependent on the speaker's point of view, the factual statement. The second one is called value judgment. That is also a type of statement. But that one depends. The truth or falsity depends on who is speaking, their perspective, their cultural background, their values that they hold on to, etc., etc. Okay? So I can say Amma is a beautiful girl. You can look at the same Amma and say, is this beautiful? I have an issue with it. You can't force me to see your way of beautiful in the first, because what I consider to be beautiful may not be what you consider to be beautiful. So the point then is what? The expression Amma is a beautiful girl is a value judgment because of the word beautiful that I'm using. What I call beautiful may not be what you call beautiful. We can go all of us into the room. We will have a different perspective about what beauty should be. So value judgment is not a description, it's a prescription. My view of it and your view of it. Now, look at, I said Amma is a beautiful, if I said Amma is a girl, that would have objective truth. If I said the president is referring to our current president, the president is taller than his opponent in the NDC. Okay. If I had said that, you see that we'll all say that is false because the current president is not taller than JDM. For example, taller than the whether I'm MPP or NDC, whether I come from Dagomba or what is the name or Achem, won't matter. I may be the women's organizer of any of the parties. Taller than party, there is no argument about it. You can't say Nanado, a current president, is taller than JDM. You don't understand taller. That's the issue. It has objective truth, regardless of party, culture, background. Okay? So that is a factual statement. In this my instance, if I said Nanado is taller than John Dramani Mahama, the ex-president, this would be factually false, but it's a factual statement because it has objective truth. However, look on my screen now. Look at example 6. If I said Nanado is more corrupt than John Dramani Mahama, true or false? That one doesn't have objective truth to brothers and sisters in the law. It depends on who you are asking that question. Why are you laughing? My brother. If I'm the women's organizer of whatever, or I'm the granddaughter of the current president, how do you expect me to say true or false to that statement? The word corrupt doesn't have objective truth. If I'm Asiedun Ketia, the current chair, you want me to say false, I'll say it's true because I want to sit on the throne with JDM. It is a value-oriented statement. That's the point I'm making. I want an example that you can easily remember. Okay, so corrupt, good, but you see the brother that you say he's a good guy. Now you have a serious relationship because you have a good guy now. That good guy expression you are using. Whereas the brother's ex-girl, whether he will agree with you. Good is relative. The word good, bad, wrong. Look on my screen now. Innocent, wicked. Look at a reporter reporting to a certain TV station or radio station in Ghana. That wicked driver. Look on my screen, example 5 now. Knock down the innocent boy. This is not a factual matter. This is a value judgment. The person is already prescribing judgment before reporting to you. Tell us what you saw on the field. Don't impose your impression of the issue onto us. Let us make our own assessment of the matter. Tell us. Look at the other one. Tell us that. Example. Look on my screen, please. Example 3. The car knocked down the boy. You are reporting facts. The fact may be true or false. You understand? Yes. Don't put in the wicked driver knocked down the innocent, but the word wicked and innocent are not factual terms. They are value judgment. What is making you call someone wicked? It is your impression of it. If you were killing a cat, my friends who eat cat meat, how you kill the cat, do you know how someone else will interpret that? Those who eat the cat with you will say that, oh, this is a very benevolent brother. Today he will give us food to eat. Benevolent. That's how you interpret. Because the cat will have plenty meat, you share. You all get some to eat. So someone is watching you kill the cat and say, hey, this is a brave brother. Another person is saying, oh, he's a good brother because he's going to give us meat to eat. Another person is seeing what you are doing and saying you are a wicked person. These are all judgment, point of views. Okay? So if people introduce those terms, wicked, innocent, corrupt, wrong, look on my screen, I've italicized them, good, etc. Those are value terms. They make the statement, remember it is already a statement, a declarative, but it turns the statement into a value judgment. When you use valueless expressions, then it becomes a factual statement. And then the last type is what? Let's look at it. Definitions, where you are giving us the meaning of the word. So a bachelor is an unmarried adult male, like the example I have on my screen. You are showing us how to use the word bachelor. You are defining the word, okay? So you are giving us the meaning of the word, how we should use the word. That's the third type of declarative. First one, factual statement. The second one, value judgment. You see, we don't even like saying value statement. We say value judgment, the judgment, a perspective-oriented statement, okay? Then the last one is a definition. If you were driving and the traffic light showed you red, and you tell yourself, oh, me, red, when I see it, I think it is green. It's still a viewpoint. You have seen red, which means stop. You say, me, I think that I've seen green. Keep driving and see if you won't become obituary. You don't have your own interpretation of taller than, red, green, because you say, oh, everything is value. We live in human society. A dog is a dog. When we say you shouldn't kill human beings, don't say you there. If you see human being, you think you have seen a butterfly or a mosquito because it's all value. No, no, no. There are terms that are value oriented. It's not easy to agree on them. Beautiful, ugly, corrupt, right? How do we agree on what defines someone as beautiful? Unless for that pageant, we agree that when we say beautiful, we mean someone who has 5 feet height, someone whose skin is dark, not fair. So we are giving our own definition. We'll get to types of definitions, God willing, next week. Stipulative definition. We can stipulate and agree that this is how we will define so and so. That's definition made for us. We can agree to talk that way. But you can't go and apply your understanding of what you think beautiful is to a certain context, okay? Because the word beauty is what? Value oriented. Good is value oriented. Ask someone who is sitting next to you, who is an Adventist, whether they will like it when you wear earrings. When you say, oh, wearing earrings is good for a lady, they will tell you, no, that is not good. Ask the Muslim sister who is typically Muslim of a certain sect, whether it's okay to leave your hair, you a sister, like that. She will put a hijab on. That is good. Someone will wear runabout earrings, big, big, big. That is when her tongues come, when she's praying. Another person also think that when you wear big earrings like that, when you pray, God will not hear. These are what? Value oriented. So good, bad, wrong, beautiful, ugly, like we have said. When you introduce them into statements, they become what? Value judgment. On that note, I ask my last question, then I'll take all the rest of your questions. Write these 3 expressions down and tell me which one is a factual statement, which one is a value judgment, and which one is a definition. Then I'll take your questions. We'll be so done so that others can know. 1, a bachelor is an unmarried adult male. A bachelor is an unmarried adult male. Male. 2, a bachelor is sitting under the tree. A bachelor is sitting under the tree. Then the last one. A bachelor has a good conscience. A bachelor has a good conscience. So the first one, a bachelor is an unmarried adult male. The second one, a bachelor is sitting under the tree. The third one, a bachelor has a good conscience. Now I want to ask everyone, I want a chorus answer. Nobody knows you. You are sitting there. So if you get it wrong, no one will know. So don't worry. I'm going to ask a question. Answer with a chorus answer. I want to hear the number of who get it correct and those who get it wrong. Example 1 said a bachelor is an unmarried adult male. You see, I've given you 3 examples.
Definition.
When we advance, oh, right out. When we advance, we can look at an expression that can be both this and that. For now, there are 3 of them I've given to you, okay? Each one of them belongs to one of the types. So let's start. The first one says, a bachelor is an unmarried adult male. What type of declarative is it? With the chorus answer, go.
Definition.
Definition. Very good. Well done. I hope that all those who are saying definition really know it from what we have done. Okay, so it's a definition. Well done. The second one said a bachelor is sitting under the tree. Where will you place that?
Factual.
Very good. It's factual. Aisha, I hope you got it correct. Sebiyam.
Yes,
Aisha.
it's
Very good.
factual statement.
Very good. The second one is a factual statement. Well done. Then the third one, obviously, will be what? A bachelor has a
Value
good
judgment.
Value judgment.
Value judgment.
Very good. It's a value judgment because of our
Value
use of the
judgment.
word one. Good. Well done.
Good.
But all 3 of them are declaratives. In other words, they are statements. And we can say, therefore, that they have a truth value. Just that the way we determine their truth value varies from one type to the other. So one has an objective truth, that's factual statement. The other one has a subjective truth, the subject, me. I am defining each truth. That's value judgment. And then the last one gives you the meaning of the word. We'll build on the types of definitions, then the moral and non-moral value judgment. You should look at the slides, they are there. Even right now, you can see them there, okay? And then you will do fine. Look on my screen, see, put value judgment moral and value judgment non-moral. Then the parts of a definition, see on the screen, they are here. As you see, definitions continue, there are two parts. You don't want me to come and tell you all this, otherwise you will move fast for your own. So if there is no other question, so those who are asking questions about statement and sentence, look on your screen. That's slide number 27. It's there. All statements are sentences, but not all sentences are statements. See, they are all there. I could have ignored you and referred you to the text. All right. Very good. You have all done well. Now I can take your questions if you have them. I want to stop the recording now. What do you think? So that people can have, them. Or I should add your questions to it. I want your consensus.
No, yes, please. Yes, please.
I should add your questions. Okay, then let's finish.
So that you tell us, please.
So let me take a name that I haven't called yet. Okay, let me take Charleston. I hope I pronounced your name well. Charleston Chireme. Go ahead. Oh, Charleston, go ahead, please. I have to go now.
Madam, please, you can move on. You can move on.
Questions? Okay, then Afwakwa Charity. Ama. I see 18 hands up. If you have a question on your heart, ask, please. Just ask. Unmute and ask.
Madam, I want to ask where our time frame and whether we have a WhatsApp group, because some of the courses that
I want questions on substantive content. I beg you, with all due respect. Someone wants to ask a question on the subject matter. Please ask. Go ahead.
Hello, Dr. Please, could we have both a fact and value judgment in the same sentence?
Yes, we can. We are going to engage that as we advance. There will be so many of them. Yes, you can even have a value judgment that is also imperative. I mentioned that earlier. Now it will make sense to most of us. You see, it is supposed to be a value judgment. That means it's a type of statement, and yet it is also imperative. It's instructing. Like, you should not talk back at your supervisor. I said that earlier. You should not. It means it is wrong to talk back at your supervisor. That should be a value judgment. And yet, it's also imperative. Very good. So you see. So the question about facts and values, yes. Even definitions and facts. When we advance,
Thank you, Doctor.
Most welcome, sir. I appreciate that. Please, someone who has a pertinent question, unmute and
Madam.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So what's the difference between statement and the sentence?
What do you think? I have explained that. It's also in your slides. Okay, see.
Hello,
Madam. Yes, okay, madam. See, the gentleman has a question about statements, and look on your screen. I'm very patient with my DE student too. Go ahead, my lady. Please, the one who has a question about statements, look on the screen. I've projected it. Okay. Go ahead, my lady.
Yes, I've seen it.
Hello,
I'll show you.
Madam, please.
My lady, go ahead.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, please. Hello, madam. Your time is up, so I can go off immediately. I just want to give you a little more time.
Madam,
go ahead.
Please, since sentence fragment are incomplete sentence, can we regard this as a true barrier? Hello, madam.
I listened to the same sentence fragments are incomplete. The rest, please continue.
Since they are incomplete sentence, can we regard them as truth barriers?
Can we regard them as what?
Truth barriers. Truth barriers.
No.
Truth barriers.
It is not even complete. It is not even complete. It can't bear truth. It's only declarative. It's only declarative that can bear truth. That have a truth value. Okay. Sentence fragment. They are not even sentences. They are not even complete thoughts. Okay, so they can't bear truth. All right. Let me go through. I think Benjamin Apple has spoken. Michael, I don't know your surname, so it's a bit uncomfortable to say Michael. There might be 7 or 20 Michaels. Oh, okay. Aisha, you have spoken.
Yes,
Esther
madam.
Nanama. Aisha, you have a
Yes,
question? Go ahead.
Esther Nanama has not spoken yet.
Esther, I called you earlier. So go ahead. I called you.
Yes,
Didn't
madam.
speak.
Another Esther spoke. Another Esther spoke. So
Esther
now it's
Nanama,
my
go ahead.
turn, Esther.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. About factual statements. Please, is it the same as empirical since we can verify that with the facts?
Esther. Esther, I don't like that too. I don't like what you're doing.
Oh, madam.
Imperatives, they are not close back. So when I finish this one, I'll pull the recording and give it to you, play it back, okay? So that you do well.
Okay.
Factual statement is a
madam.
type of statement, like the name suggests, a type of declarative. Imperatives are different. Imperatives are not even statements at all, okay? So you let us play it back, then go through the slides again. If you still have challenges, send it to me, okay? Otherwise, we'll have to do the whole lecture, okay?
Madam, I didn't say empirical. I didn't say imperative. I said
Imperative. You said
empirical.
empirical. Yes.
Yes,
Empirical
please.
means is based on observation. Yes.
Okay, so then it makes it factual.
Yes, I want to be careful about saying it is factual immediately because we'll go to inductive reasoning in unit.
Okay, madam.
But for now, you can take it as factual. It's based on observation. Okay.
Okay, madam. Okay, madam. Thank you very much. Please.
Hello, this is Charles. Hello,
I have a question. You said that perfect.
Another season of talented kids. It's been almost 1 year since the last person born, and we have a 60 person.
Hello, madam. Can I ask a question?
We're not sure that you enjoy every moment to be on this stage, and at the end, the best talent from its young ones will be chosen. We're very grateful to the judges.
Hello, madam. Can I ask a question?
I think madam is off again.
I think the class is
Hello.
Please, do you have a WhatsApp group?
My people,
Hello, doc.
I'm back. Our money is finished. We have to end. I realize that, so we have to end now. But I want to caution. I can see the way people are overly dependent on WhatsApp platforms and other channels. By the grace of God, this lady sitting in front of you is the one who examined. I know what I will ask you. So the idea of overly depending on someone's or some people somewhere who give you, I'm very worried about that because that is what can cost you even passing in the course. Follow the instructors that have been given to you. Go by the instructions they give you for the course. Make Sakai your reference point and you will do fine. That's why I want to put that on record. If you become overly dependent on so-called authorities, it will go against you. So I want to advise, if you need a platform that you think, oh, we have to look out for each other, that's fine. But I want to caution so that you will do well. You can ask your predecessors. All the best. And send me all queries if you still have them. I still see quite a number of hands up. I hope that they were not questions. If they were questions, let me give 2 minutes and take 1 or 2 other questions, and then I can go on.
Madam, please, I'm
Oh,
here.
madam, the first thing that I was talking about is the WhatsApp group. You know, we really need a WhatsApp
I don't
group.
want WhatsApp discussion. I want to respond to substantive content. Please, if you have a question on the content,
Madam, please,
go
I
ahead.
have a question. Madam, please.
Hello, madam. This is Charles.
Factual statement.
Madam, you said.
I am here.
Madam, please, can a factual statement be in a future tense?
Tomorrow it will rain. It's a factual statement. Yes. What's the next question? Yes, it can be true or false, can't it? So what makes it a factual statement is not whether it's past tense or present. It's whether it can be true or false. The ability to be true or false. What makes a statement factual, value judgment, or definition? Okay.
Madam, in the slides, you stated that value judgment do not.
You are not asking a question, no. Right.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah,
Madam, please.
Ask a question. Don't give me a preamble. Let's ask the question. If I didn't get your question, I'll ask you, what are you saying? Then you build on it, okay?
Okay. Madam, please. I want to ask whether value judgments do not state facts.
We already told you that value judgments are not the same as factual statements. So value judgments don't state facts. They prescribe the viewpoint of the speaker. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I can take one more question. From a lady. Let me take a lady first. Okay, Martha Dosa. Is it very pressing? You can always send me an email. I just don't want to brush people aside. That's why I do that. So let me take one or two more. I've not heard from Dosa. Is it Martha? Go ahead, Martha. Okay, so I give the opportunity and then the person will not speak. No assignment. Who is this?
I'll speak.
Go ahead, my lady. Go ahead. Let me take you last. Then I can go.
To confirm something, I have.
Yes,
I wrote
madam.
something down.
I want about the
my lady speaking. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Statement.
Don't get distracted. Go ahead.
Please, madam. I wanted to have an example. Okay, market is a place where the people sell. Is it a definition or
is it what? What do you think it is? Tell me what you think it is.
Is it under?
What do you think? Tell me what you think, my lady.
It's a definition, please.
Definition.
It's a definition.
Well done.
Yes.
I think that we have. So let me pull down this recording, okay? And share. Thank you, Manuel Asai. Thank you, Benjamin Asied. Someone said, "Oh, please ask me your question."
It's me, Aisha.
Aisha, ask a question.
I wanted to find something. Yes, I had an example here. Delicious. Is it an emotive expression?
What do you think?
Yes.
It's an
What do you think?
expression.
Aisha, what do you think?
Yes, it's an emotive expression.
It is an emotive expression, please.
Yes, it is. Thank you all very much. I think that we should end now, okay? Send me all your queries if you have them and we haven't treated them. What you won't get from me, unfortunately, is like the ATM machine thing. That one I won't do. The one that you punch in, then the answer will come. If you have checked, you see that I don't do that. I will point you to the answer because that will help you. Unless it is tricky and the person is trying to find it in the slides and he or she's not getting, then I'll help out. But I don't like the ATM move. It doesn't make you a researcher. It makes you, like someone that we have to dump things on. If I'm wrong, I'll put all of you along. I don't do that. So ask me questions, and if I have already responded to it, I'll point you to where it is so that you read it and get all the information. Okay, thank you very much. Have a wonderful week. When we meet, God willing, next week, we are going to Unit 2, which is your lecture 2. Types of definitions, parts, problems with definitions. Come prepared, and we'll do fine. Okay?
Madam, the same time next week. Madam,
sorry, please.
Please, the same time next week.
Oh, everybody answer the big boss for me, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Madam.
Yes. Hey, no, mommy couldn't